Hey everybody, it is Cody here from Rasslin Rage and Michigan Independent Weekly. Please smash the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I am joined today by Justin Pilgrim. My man, what is going on, dude?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Oh, locked up in my house for several days in a row.
Yeah, there's my house. I'm in my car.
Yeah. Yeah, so different times we're in right now, ain't it?
It's crazy, man. I never thought in my lifetime I would say that we would be living through a pandemic like this, but
Right.
here we are.
Right. Yeah. Definitely doing something like that. Now, I got to ask, bro, how did you get involved in professional wrestling?
Well, I've been a fan my whole life. You know, I grew up watching wrestling. I started watching it with my dad, and then in Kansas, there really wasn't a whole lot for wrestling options when I was growing up, and then I met this guy named Bobby Starr. He's from Oklahoma, but he was in Park City, Kansas at the time, and he was doing a little promotion and he was doing some training, so I went down there and trained with him, and that was in 2008, 2009. I had my first match and just went from there.
Oh, so you're not originally from Michigan then, huh?
No, I've only been in Michigan for 4 years, four
Four
and a half years
years.
now.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah,
what brought you here?
my wife.
Oh, that's a good reason. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Is she
We
from Michigan then?
yeah, she's from Michigan, born and raised. I don't think she's lived anywhere else, honestly. We met online, met through Instagram and then Facebook, and then I came up here and here I
Right, nothing wrong with that, man. For sure.
am.
So you get what you said 2008, 2009 you go through training and you start wrestling. Uh
Yeah.
what 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 got you there? Like, so when everybody has that guy or the girl or whoever it may be when they're coming up, they're like, man, I love this guy. I really like, he's my favorite or whatever. But there's
Right.
always someone that they have that says, when I was coming up, I seen this person, and that's when I knew I was like, I want to do this for a living, or this is what I want to do. Was there somebody that did that for you in professional wrestling?
I mean, I can take you all the way back to when I was 3, 4 years old, and the first time I saw Ric Flair wrestle. The very first time I saw him, it was him and Steamboat, man, and just from that moment, I wanted to be a professional wrestler. Ric Flair was the man, and then I saw Jake the Snake Roberts and the way that he would go about cutting his promos and the psychology he was using. I didn't know that at the time because I was a kid, but growing up and realizing that now, he's become one of my favorites, especially on the microphone. So definitely those two wrestlers, seeing them when I was younger, they definitely influenced me a lot to become a professional wrestler.
Oh, awesome. Now, so you've wrestled down, you said, where was it, Arkansas?
Kansas.
Kansas. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So
You're
down in
fine.
Kansas, so you wrestled in Kansas and now you're here in Michigan. Do you find there's any not so much in the styles, but do you find there's any difference as far as independent wrestling goes in general between the two places?
I would say that Michigan seems to be more spotty in wrestling matches. Like there are a lot of storytelling matches here in Michigan, but from what I've seen, there's a lot more spot fest matches. In Kansas, it's a lot more story-based wrestling, I would say.
Kind of old school?
Uh, yeah, like old school story-based, rest hold here, rest hold there, trying to tell a story and purvey the story that you're trying to tell with the match is what they're doing in the ring. They do high spots and spot fest too, but it's a lot more story-driven there, I would say.
Right. And if it's a good story, it can be good. I've had
Mhm.
this conversation with a few people before. The thing that I'm looking for whenever I'm watching any wrestling match, it doesn't matter if it's independent or not, but any wrestling match, is to be captivated by what I'm seeing in the ring. And there is no cheer, there is no boo, because you're so just enthralled with what's going on in the ring that you become internally emotional. And
Right.
that's what I'm looking for. I love the pure raw emotion of professional wrestling. So I
Oh yeah.
totally get that, because it's hard to find that, and especially here. Now,
Yeah.
you recently had an injury, correct?
Yes, sir.
So exactly, tell us what the injury was.
Well, it originally started back last April when I first dislocated my shoulder. I just kind of tore the labrum. And the labrum is like the tissue and the muscle inside your shoulder socket to make it deeper so it doesn't dislocate. So the first time I did it, I tore it up a little bit. It was fine, whatever. I think my main problem after that was I didn't do a lot of my physical therapy like I should have done. I
Okay.
just basically went from doing a little bit of physical therapy at home to going back to the gym to going back to the ring. This time around, I was in a match. I was on my stomach and I was pushing myself up to get to a standing position, and my arm ended up hitting a slick spot on the mat, and my arm slipped out from underneath me and I fell and dislocated my shoulder once again.
Ouch.
I think what made it worse was I tried to get back into the match because I'm a worker. I don't want to be out of the match.
Right.
So I took a couple body slams on my shoulder, so that probably did a little bit more damage than just dislocating it. But I ended up dislocating it again, and then that's what required the surgery because the second dislocation completely just messed up my labrum and tore it off, and I had to get it replaced and
Oh
rebuilt. So
man. So you did have surgery, and you've been going through recovery. How long have you been going through this? And when was your surgery? Let's say.
my surgery was January 22nd. It was
Okay.
just a 1 day thing. I was in, did the surgery, went home that night. I've been recovering ever since. I've been doing physical therapy now for about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks now.
Okay.
So, and
N-
I do it probably about 2 to 3 times a day usually.
Okay. Now, so you're going through the recovery, everything's getting better and everything's coming back. Uh, is there an expected time frame for you to be, given that we're out of this order thing that's going on here? Is
Well,
there a date that we can expect Justin Pilgrim to be back in there kicking some ass and taking some names?
the doctor says that I can't do contact sports for at least 4 to 6 months after the surgery. So my 4 month mark will be around May. Uh, I think I'll be good to go around May. It just depends on what my doctor thinks. I am healing a lot faster than what he expected originally.
Right.
Like I told him, I'm like Wolverine from the comic books, man. I heal like fast. So
Right. That's good.
and so I've got a lot more movement and range of movement, I should say, than he expected. So hopefully if all this COVID-19 stuff clears up by May, then hopefully May, June, just whenever all this stuff decides to go
Well,
away.
I tell you what, if this does go until, May, boy, oh boy, talk about all the shows that are going to be rocking and rolling come up, man. There's just everybody's chomping at the bit. And I mean, you probably know better than most right now because you've been off since January. These guys are, what, 3, 4 weeks now, 2 weeks
Yeah,
maybe.
it's been
There's
since December. Sorry to cut you off, but December 14th was my last match, and that's the last time I was in the ring. So,
Yeah. So you kind of
yeah,
understand what everybody's going through right now. I bet. Are you chomping at the bit? Are you like, man,
I am,
I want
man.
it, I want to get back in? What's going
I
on?
am. I've been limiting my wrestling watching because anytime that I watch wrestling, I'm like I want to get in there. I went to the last Horror Slam show to show support for the Faceless and show my brothers, and man, when they were in the ring with DTA, I was like a caged animal at the merch booth. I was caging back and forth. I wanted to get in that ring,
Right,
man. But
right, yeah.
yeah,
What?
I can't wait.
How do you hold yourself back? Is it really hard or?
Yeah, it's hard, dude. Because
That was
like I
the
said,
most honest. That was the most honest yeah ever because you didn't even think. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, because like I said, when I dislocated the second time, I got back into the match. So I mean, it's hard, especially now that it's been 4 months that I haven't been in the ring, and just I'm going crazy, man. I want to
Right.
beat someone up.
Right. Well, I mean, at least now it's the COVID, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I understand. I'm a fan, and I'm chomping at the bit just to be able to go watch. You know,
Oh, I can imagine, man.
I love wrestling. But I love a live crowd more than anything. We talked a little bit
Right.
about that earlier
Mhm.
in the live crowd thing, and man, I tell you, man, I'm missing it. And the last show I was at was XICW.
Right.
The last show everybody had canceled except for XI, and XI
Right.
ran. So it was a great show, but great stuff there, and we got to see your boys that night too. So
Oh
the
yeah, I've
Faceless.
seen the video. I saw the video. That was a great match they
Yeah,
had with Dre and
absolutely great
TJ.
match. Yeah, and Trey and Sean or TJ are both great guys too. So,
Oh
um,
yeah. Oh yeah.
now when you suffered your injury, you
Mhm.
had hair and a beard.
I did.
Now, so it's gone.
It
Now,
is, yeah.
are you are you growing it back,
Yeah.
or is this a
I
life
think I
change,
am.
or are you
No,
life changing?
the hair thing was because after my surgery, I couldn't do nothing with my hair. I couldn't shave my head or anything, so I just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna shave my head.
Right.
And then I was like, oh man, I look kind of cool with a beard and a shaved head. I'm gonna keep doing this. And then I shaved my beard. Uh, I think the beard thing was just I was just ready for a fresh start, man. It'd been 8 years since I'd shaved my beard originally, like full baby face shave. So
Wow.
I said, whatever, I'm just gonna do it. Now I'm growing it back and I'm growing the hair, all the hair back. I'm not gonna do the mohawk thing
Oh,
anymore. I'm
really?
gonna do all the hair, yeah. So
Right. Well, I mean, at least you're not using like 17 bottles of Aquanet to hold it up like Chuck there. You know.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is for sure. Now, so we talked. We're under COVID-19 stay at home order dash 2211 or whatever it is. I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah.
um, what are you doing with yourself at home? I mean, even still, I mean, you've been home. I mean, technically since December. Um, what have you been doing to, besides rehabbing the shoulder? What have you been doing to keep yourself busy? Anything spectacular?
Just hanging out with the wife and hanging out with the kids, man. Playing a lot of Xbox, playing Call of Duty a lot, honestly.
Nothing
I
wrong with
picked
that.
up Madden. I picked up Madden 20, and I haven't played a football game in ages. I'm not even really a big football fan, but I'm just looking for different games to play,
Right?
honestly,
Yeah,
at this point.
yeah, something a little
But yeah,
different.
just spending time with the family, man. Especially a lot of time with my son Jericho. He's 2.5, so I'm just spending as much time as I can with him and
Right.
doing the family thing. I just recently returned to work, and then today I just got laid off. So
Yeah.
now I gotta figure out what to do, occupy that time again.
Right. So I go back to work, and then I get laid off, and then man,
Yeah,
good
yeah,
times
it's
there.
temporary though. I'll be
Right.
back after all this COVID stuff is done, I guess.
Absolutely. So, you know, I ask this to most everybody that I interview. Goals. Everybody should have them. And if you don't,
Oh
you're
yeah,
doing something wrong, right? Because if you're striving
true.
to go somewhere, you got to have goals. And they can't just be,
That's true.
they have to be obtainable goals. I mean, hey, listen,
Hmm.
I want to go to the moon, but it's possible. But, you got to go through the proper channels to get there. So,
And Elon Musk.
right. Yeah. Very good. So, going forward, once you get back, and everything, obviously one of the main goals is to get back in the ring and to get back into
Mhm.
ring form, um, ring ready form. What are your goals for Justin Pilgrim going forward once you get back in the ring?
As far as Justin Pilgrim is concerned, my goals, uh, I will be making my debut for RPW, that new
Oh,
company that's supposed to be coming out. So I plan on making a real big splash there. I want to go back to Kansas and wrestle again in Kansas. I want to debut for XI sometime. I've
nothing
been
wrong with that.
invited, but I just haven't been able to make it happen yet. But MM3 has invited me to come and watch the show, so I definitely want to go there and make my debut for XI sometime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd love to see you there too, man.
Oh man, I think I'd fit in pretty
Oh,
well
I
there.
I'd agree. I totally agree.
I think the main goal though is I really want to get on NWA, man. And like growing up as a kid, NWA was the shit, and that's where I at least want to wrestle in an NWA ring once before I'm done. At least once. That's all.
Well, that's not a bad goal to have. And I mean, and
Thank
then
you.
you get to there, and then you set new goals, right? And then
Oh
you
yeah,
just keep
definitely.
climbing, just keep going, just keep going, you keep going. That's awesome,
Exactly.
man. Now, as far as NWA goes, is there somebody current on the current NWA roster that you would love to go toe to toe with?
All of them.
But if you only had
All of
one,
them.
if you only had
Uh,
one,
that's hard, man. I would choose Damien Sandow. I know that's not his name there, but I
right?
would choose Damien Sandow just because of how much of a fan I was of him in the WWE, especially right before he left when he was doing the whole thing with the Miz. Man, that was brilliant. I would like to work with him at least one time. That'd be pretty cool.
There you go. There you go. You know, one of the guys I really liked that is an NWA, and I've liked for a while, and back when, even when he was in Impact, is Eli Drake. That guy,
Oh yeah,
that dude's got a mouth, you know, and he's trained by
he
Cody
can
Hawk.
talk.
So,
Yeah,
you know, good guy. He was out there for Cody's when Cody won the trainer award from the CAC. So,
that's
good,
awesome.
yeah, good stuff, man. I love that guy. I mean, I don't know him personally or anything like that, but I mean,
Right,
as
right.
far as his mic skills are phenomenal, dude, phenomenal.
Oh yeah, he's great on the microphone.
Now, you said May, you're looking for your comeback to the ring. Um, where can people follow you on social media? Before you throw that stuff out there, guys, I'll put that down in the description. So, you know, you don't have to go to Facebook and type it all out. Just go down in the description. If you're on your mobile, over there to the right, there's a little arrow. You click that arrow, it'll drop down all the description, and you can find the links in there. If you're on the computer, well, you know where to go. So, in the description, click the links to his social media, and please follow and buy merch because you have new merch.
I do on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah.
I just got my store open back in February. I got 3 shirts up there right now. I'm working on a 4th one to get put up. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah, you can definitely find me on there for
Right.
just search Justin Pilgrim on Pro Wrestling Tees.
And I'll make sure to put that link down there too. And then where you got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what you got?
Yeah, Facebook is just Justin Pilgrim. Also YouTube, just official Justin Pilgrim. Instagram, official Justin Pilgrim, as well as Twitter is the same thing, official
Good.
Justin Pilgrim.
I like that.
TikTok, I'm on TikTok, official Justin Pilgrim.
There you
You got to
go.
make sure you get all those social media things when you're a wrestler, man. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
yeah, just
one of the things that gets me sometimes is some guys got like 17 different ats, right? So it's like at so and so, at dash 11 so and so, and it's like, dude, no.
right. Yeah, you can basically just search official Justin Pilgrim anywhere and you'll find me.
That's good. See, that's awesome. That makes it easy, man. The easier, the better.
Exactly.
And I mean,
Exactly.
everybody out there, don't take this the wrong way, but people are lazy. They don't want us to do all that stuff. One click done, right? So I understand. I get that. We're all in the same game, you know. I understand that for sure, brother. Thank you so much for
Yes.
joining me today. And you know,
Thank
hey,
you.
when you get back in the ring, I want to get another one with you. You know,
Sounds
so
good,
you know,
brother.
we see you now. I want to see you. You know, when you're back in the ring, May, June, July, somewhere in there, and then you know,
yeah.
again, we'll do another one. Good stuff.
Sounds good.
Man.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Oh, absolutely, man. Thanks again.
Yeah, no problem.
Check it out. It's r2youtube.com. That's R2 youtube.com, and tell them Velvet sent you.
It's going down. This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. Scream it out loud. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. It's going down. This is Rasslin Rage.